Hello everyone. So we are going to continue with the part 2 of Stories Feed Creation app. And in today's videos, the objectives will be to create a grid of these categories, then build a second page and so on and so forth. So let's start off with the session for today without any further discussions and let's continue building this app. Now the first thing that I notice is there is some warning here. So let me just fix that first by adding a class name here. And hopefully the warning is now gone. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to arrange this in a grid fashion like this, right? So for that we need a JSON in the data source component. So we will first create a JSON for all these files. JSON is an object in which we are going to store this tech, travel, food, and all these names and all these icon logos as well. So let's create a new folder here in the SRC, which is data source. And we are going to create a new file, which is categories.js. And in this, I am going to export a const, which is going to be category items. So this is going to be an object, and let's just export the object. I think it will be better to have this as a JSON array. So it will be an array of JSONs containing the category name. For example, the first category is, let's say, tech. Then the icon for this category, like these icons that we have. So we can have a icon name as such, in which we can store the icon name. Now we are using material design icons for our icons, right? So let's go for and search for the icons. The first icon that we had was computer, which was this one. So the icon name could be computer. We'll eventually add the background color as well. For now, I'm just keeping it as blue. We will add it later. So let's just add all the icons that we have. I'm going to fast forward this video so that process is much more fast. So once we have all the icons ready, we can then move over to using this JSON in our code. So I am coming back to home.js and I'm going to import this category.js file in my home using import statement. So these are going to be category items from one folder back data source / categories. And we are going to remove this array, and instead of using categories array, we are going to use the category items and remove this comment as well. Instead of the computer icon, we are going to use the category item icon name. So this could be category item dot icon name here, and we can copy this till here and use the name which we find in the JSON object. So the name and icon name are going to be used. Once we are done with that, if we come back to our app, so currently all the categories are populated with the icons. Only thing is they are not in 3-column fashion. So for 3-column fashion, we are going to use Tailwind CSS again. Before that, let me just get rid of this warning by adding a key in our array. So key for now could be category item.icon name or name as well. Let's keep it to name. So in case of Tailwind, we are going to use another property which is grid. And we are going to use grid calls property to set number of columns to 3. I think we also need to specify a grid as a CSS. Let's just check. Okay, let's just have this grid calls 3. So this basically adds this entire category items into a 3-column grid. So we can go with class name and grid calls 3 and check if this works. No, it is not. I think we need to add grid as well. And now it is proper. I think we can add some spacing between all these category items. So let's have some margin top here in each item. So I think the MT3 class will be good enough. Yeah, let's go with 4. This looks much better and much closer to what we have here. Now I can go for full screen like as this, but for now I think this will work. And with that we are done with the home screen for our application, which was this one. So I think this could be a good time to push the changes we have done till now to Git. So let's come to the VS Code panel and add all the files which we have modified. And let's give it a name to something like home component added. And click on this tick mark, push the code. Yes, 31 seconds ago the code was updated. So as you can see, the data source file which we just had is now on Git and the home component as well. So we can move ahead with the next task on our Trello board. So let's open Trello. Yeah, we are done with arrange categories in a grid. And we are also done with creating a JSON for showing categories. Next, yeah, we need to set up React router. The reason for setting up React router is there are going to be 2 components here. First is the stories feed, and on click of this stories feed, we need to redirect the user to another page in which the actual stories will be shown. So let's set up React router DOM in our application. So this is the npm which we need to install. If you are using npm as a package manager, run this command. Since I am using yarn, I'm going to use yarn add and React router DOM. And after that we need to import all these dependencies. Before that we need to create a component as well. So for now let's create a new file which will contain the stories dot js, or we can give it a name to something like stories component. I'm going to use RFC shortcut to create the functional component, and here I'm just going to return stories UI for now. And let's just import this in our app.js file. Import stories component from component slash stories component. And after that we need to add this properties from React.com. So essentially we are going to use the route component to create the route for our application. So let's just copy React router DOM dependencies. I think we won't need the link tag, so I'm going to remove that. So React router code works like this. We add a switch component at the top. We add the route or the address at which the component needs to be served at and the component itself. So let's just copy this code from here and add it in place of the home component. In case of path slash, obviously the home component needs to be added. I'm going to add exact because I want it to be served only when slash is used. Then we need to add another route. Let's just say it is story or something like that. And within that route, we are going to use stories component. So on click of this any category at home, we will redirect the user to stories component. So now let's just start off our code back. Now we come back to home.js file and we need to add a on-click handler in our category items to redirect the user to our stories component. So on click of any of these category items here, okay, we forgot to add router, I think. So let's just add router as well at the top level in our app.js. Yeah, we forgot to add router. Router is the higher order hook or class which is essential for using React Router DOM. Other than that, I don't think anything else is required. So let's just jump back to our home.js file and continue from there. So on click of any of the category items, we need to open the stories component. So let's define a function here, which is redirect story and add it into our on click handler. It's save. Now in order to redirect the user, we need to use the use history hook. So this hook is used to redirect the user to another route. So we are going to import use history from React Router DOM in our home component. Then create an instance of use history. We need to use const since we are not redefining the history prop. And we can then push or redirect the user to the story component. I hope that is the route. So we need to use this route here. Let's save and let's just check if this works. So whenever I click on any of these category items, now the stories UI will get shown. Another thing that we need to take care of is we need to also pass the category item itself. For example, let's say if this is food, then I want the route to be something like story slash food. I want to use this food to actually store the stories related to food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the category name as well. Eventually this will be the unique ID for a particular category. For now, we are just going to use the category item dot name as our route name. And coming back to our app.js file, I'm going to add an identifier. So identifiers are made using colon. So this will allow us to track which component or which actual story item was passed. So I'm going to add this. This is basically a way of writing a variable for routes. So I'm going to name this variable as category item. Now coming back to a stories component, I need that category item to show the story related to a particular component, right? So for that, we are going to use the match, which is use route match. So whenever you pass a particular variable name using this colon operator, we can use that use router match to get that actual name. So let's import use route match from React Router DOM in our stories component. Then initialize this match variable. We don't need to pass the address. It will show the match component directly. Let's try to log the value which is coming in our match route in stories UI. So if we come from food component, okay, we haven't passed the category item in our function. So let's pass that as well. Hit refresh. And as you can see in our path, we have this params in which the category item is the actual name of the category item name. So better way to name this would be category name. So let's rename this to category name. And I think now we can use this category name eventually to show the stories in our stories UI. So let's continue on with our stories component part now. Now within this div, we need to show stories, right? So we can create a custom component for showing all the stories, but there is an awesome NPM which is React Insta Stories built by the React community, which we are going to use today. So this is the module or component which is released by Mohit Karekar, and he created this awesome component React Insta Stories, which we can use directly to create the Instagram Stories UI in our web application. So I'm going to copy this React Insta Stories name and add it in our project. So the basic functionality of this component is we define a stories component in our code and we pass on the stories object. Then we pass on the interval for which a particular story needs to be shown, the width and height of our stories and stuff. So let's import stories from Instagram stories in our stories component and start the server as well. Then we need to create the stories array next. So what I am planning to do is I am going to create two kinds of stories. First will be pure image stories that we see on Instagram with captions, which we have in our design as well. And there will be another kind of stories in which there will be an image and text below it. So this will be kind of information kind of stories. So let's first tackle the image stories before we move ahead with the other one. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a temporary stories array. So if we go to this component here in the example folder, we have all kinds of examples. So if we go to the demo of this React Insta stories, we can see different kinds of stories. So this is the story which I'm trying to do, but image will be at the top. Then the other kind of story which I want to use this is this pure image kind of stories. And we have videos as well. So all this code resides in the example folder here. So let's go through the example folder and understand how it is coded. So in case of React Insta stories, we have an option to either pass images directly or we can have a custom HTML code, which we are going to use today. So in case of custom HTML code, we can write divs or any kind of code that we want. In case of images, we can just pass an array of images like this. I'm not going to do that. I am going to use HTML instead. And one such example is present in the examples folder. So this is how it looks like. So we pass the entire content in a content param in an array. Within that, we can pass on all whatever we want to pass. So I'm going to build this array temporarily in our code and eventually we are going to use a JSON data. So let's create a stories array with a single element for now. And I'm going to use this content which I have here. And just close off the JSON. Now within this content tab, we need to return some code. So let's return our div. Within that, this div will have our entire image as a background and we can have a caption component within which we are going to have a caption. So if you look at the UI here, we have an image which is the background image of this entire div and we have caption as well. So I'm going to use this div to have my background image and I'm going to use the caption here. So let's take an image first. I'm going to use Pixabay to store my image. Let's search for some images of food and we are going to use the orientation as a vertical because I want vertical images. I think one of the images which I had used was this one, which was blueberries. So let's use that. Let's download this image somewhere. So I have this image stored already in my stories field app. So we are going to host these images on a CDN, which is Cloudinary. So Cloudinary is a CDN on which you can store images and get the images via URL. You can create an account by going to the website, which is cloudinary.com, and create your account. Once you have the account created, you will be greeted with this media library. And I am using the folder here. This will be somewhere. So I have uploaded the images which I need for my app, and we have this blueberry image. So let's copy the URL and let's create a data component here. So let's say this is my stories data, within which I have all the stories. So the format of the stories data will be the category name. For example, let's say we have food. Within that, we have the actual data, so which is going to be an array of JSONs. And within that, we will have the type of the story type first. So in this case, this will be image caption post, let's say. We are going to use this later. Then the background image that we want. So the background image URL which we need for a particular image. So I have copied the URL just to show you how this process is done. What you need to do is you need to click on this upload tab, browse to your folder where the image downloaded from Pixabay is present, and click on this image and upload it here. And that image will be uploaded on Cloudinary. Then you can copy this URL from here and use it anywhere that you want. So let me just delete this image because I have it already here, and I'm going to copy the image from here. So this will be the image URL. Then we need the caption as well. So let's give the caption as, let's say, delicious or something like that. And the caption color, because users usually have different colors for caption, right? So let's give it a name as white. So this is what the data for our food story looks like. We will eventually add some more data. And instead of defining the array here, what we can do is we can take this entire array and have this in a different file, just like we had for categories. So let's give it a name to something like stories data.js. Store this data here and export is as with the export statement again. Export default stories data. These are the data which we will use to render our stories. And we can import it later. For now, what we can do is, instead of complicating the app right from the start, let's just have a div with a class name which is going to be needed to have the fill the entire screen. For that, I think we have some properties in Tailwind CSS. So if we search for width, so I need width to be full screen with the 100 VW property. So I'm going to use W screen property for my div. Then the height needs to be full as well. So if we search for height, and we need 100 VH height as well. So at screen would work great for that. Then we need to set the background as the image URL, right? So for that, we are going to use the style tag in React, and we are going to use background image using an inline style like this. So we use style attribute and add double quotes, double curly brackets, and we use this URL. Now within that URL, for now we can pass on the data from our stories app, or for now let's just define a URL temporarily here. Let's say image URL, and store the URL from Cloudinary for the blueberries, and pass this image URL here. Then in case of caption, we can have a span tag. So let's add a span tag with the text delicious. It's save. Then let's pass on the stories component to our React Insta Stories example like this. So let's copy this. I don't think we need everything. So let's copy the only the first part, which is stories. And loop, it's save. Then the stories object. So in this stories object, we need to pass the stories array. Let's save and let's just check if anything happens. And now, as you can see, the image is visible. So we have our image ready and we now need to have the caption as well. Let's just check. So let's have a class name for our caption. We need to set the text size first. So let's go back to Tailwind and search for font size. I think text to Excel would be good. Then we need it in white color. So I think it was font color or text color. We need the white color text for this by default. Obviously, we can have the text color from the caption color later. Now this needs some top margin, so we can go for MT5, I think. And the font weight needs to be bold. For that, I think the property is font bold. And I think we can increase the font size a bit more. Yeah, so we have an image with the caption. Now, if you want to add the emoji like we had in our Figma design, like this, I would suggest not adding the default emoji from Mac. Like in case of Mac, we have this emoji picker. If you type command control space, yeah, this is the emoji picker which we have in our Mac. So instead of using this emoji picker, what I would suggest is to search for emoji on Emojipedia. So Emojipedia is a site. So if you search for a yummy emoji, you will be greeted with this emoji on Emojipedia. Copy this image or the emoji from here and paste it in your VS Code. So what this allows us to do is it allows us to use the or allow this image to be used everywhere. And now we have our caption as well. So this was the first kind of post that we had. Now what we can do is instead of using this hardcoded URL and defining it as such, we can use the stories data array which we have here to have more stories as well. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use the storage data in our code. So let's import the storage data constant components slash, okay, sorry, not components, data source slash storage data. Then we can go for something like storage data dot map function here, story item, and return some code. So instead of writing this code without a function, we should define a function first. So let's define a function which is, let's say, render stories, and move this entire code within that function. So let's copy this code, get it here. In this return statement, we are going to use this array. So let's return this JSON as a content, and we can now remove this redundant code. I think we have some issue with the syntax somewhere. So this is my content which is returned. This is the JSON return. Okay, it went away. Next, we can return the stories from our function. So let's return stories and use this function in our stories section. Now, obviously, image URL is not defined, so we are going to use the story item dot the background image URL, and instead of this caption, which is hard coded, let's add a caption from a story item. So dot the caption which we have. Now, another thing which we need to keep a note of is in the stories data we have this food, and within that we have this array. So in order to access this food item, we are going to use this match param. So this app is obviously going to crash in our web page, but let's just print out the match param in our code. So within this match param, we have this match.params.category name. So we can define it something like, let's say, category name is equal to match dot params dot category name, and the storage data of category name, that is storage data dot food, will be the actual data which we need. Now if we come back to our code, hopefully it should work. If not, we are not doing something right. Okay, let's just print out the storage data as well, and the category name that we have. Refresh. So this is my, and what is my category name? Let's just check. Okay, I know now we know the issue. The food should be in small. So we can go to something like, we have two options here. First is we can go for a two lowercase here, but what I would suggest is to pass the name as in two lowercase here itself. So I'm going to use dot two lowercase in my category name, which is passed from my home component. The reason for that is we usually have this in lowercase letter instead of capital case. So let's just go with that. So if we click on food now, as you can see, we have the image rendered from our array. Let's just add another object here so that, okay, before that, I think we need to set this caption color in our stories component as well. So in this case, again, we are going to use the style attribute and double quotes. And I think the attribute is color. Yeah, we need to use the color as the attribute, colon, the caption color which we are passing from our stories. And I think we should, okay, let's just keep it at textoid in case the caption color is not passed. But right now this color will be defined by my caption color and not this textoid. So let's add another story object here, and let's just add another image. So I have some images uploaded from Pixabay which I searched for. Like in this food section, we had some other images as well. Another thing which I want to do is I want to give the credits to all these image authors. So whenever I am downloading any of these images like this. I'm going to copy this image credits and I'm going to save it somewhere in my code, which I will use later. So in this entire code, I'm just going to add a credits.txt for now, in which I am storing all the credits of the images. Eventually, I will add this in the credit section, which is the last task in our Trello app. That is to add credit section for all the images, because all these images are awesome, but they are uploaded from someone Pixabay, right? So it makes a good decision from our end to give them credits. I'm going to add them in the app later. So let's just copy another URL from here, from Cloudinary, which I uploaded from Pixabay. Give it a caption name. And now if we see our storage data, we have two images, which is this chocobar and the macaroni, or sorry, pancakes. And that is basically how the image posts are working right now. I think we can end the part 2 here. In the next part, I'm going to modify the stories array or this renderer to add another kind of stories as well, in which there will be images and text. So images with text, like we had in our demo app. So something like this we will see in the next part. That's it for the part 2 of the stories feed app. See you in the next part, in which we are going to create a lot of code and make this app a lot better. Thank you and have a nice day. Hope this part was useful to all. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for seeing the part 3. And I also have lots of more such projects in pipeline. So stay subscribed for watching them as well. Thank you and have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.